Right, welcome back to On the Bucket. This rig that I'm going to show you here is a problem-solving rig. It's when you're getting troubled by various things on the lake, like koi poo. I have to revise my words on koi poo in my first video because last June I got pestered by them, and for some reason, I don't know why, but they couldn't solve this. They couldn't get the bait off. Weed. If you've got that horrible long stream of weed that attaches to the bottom and goes up in straight lines to the surface, the lake I was on had loads of that. So this rig works well in that. It was also a heat wave, 35 degrees. Whether that's relevant, I don't know, but and also if you've got a really messy bottom, you know, I mean, we all like a nice clean firm bottom, don't they? But life's not like that these days. So this rig here that I'm about to show you was discovered by pure accident back in 2003 2004 on a well-known lake in the Limousin region. And remember in my first video I said that a mate of mine had a 40-pound carp and the bailiff came over to check rigs. That was the first 40-pound carp I had ever seen in the flesh with my own eyes, and he had two of them, right? But he had them by accident, because when he had the first one, this mate of mine was not very good at tying rigs. He had a real talent for reading water, but he couldn't tie rigs to save his life. Anyway, we were fishing pop-ups had started to become popular, and when he landed the first 40, we went over to see him and pointed out that once he'd unhooked the fish, that the putty had come off his rig. And we said, "Oh mate, you know your tungsten putty's come off, you'll have to do," and the answer was, "What tungsten putty?" And we're like, "Well, you have to put the putty on to lower the pop-up so it's a couple of inches off the bottom." And he goes, "Oh, I thought the hook would pull it down." Anyway, we tested it, and basically he was fishing a 10-inch pop-up without realising it. But it caught him two 40-pound fish. So, very impressive. And he was fishing on a stream bed, a hard bottom stream bed. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know why this rig works. I really don't. There's several theories about, you know, the size of a carp's belly, where it cruises when it's near the bottom and stuff like that. But I honestly don't know why it works. But all I know is that it does work. And that was in 2003. Last June, I had two 30-pounders on this in a heat wave in the stream of weed. I put it in that horrible tentacle weed that goes up. And basically, I call it a 10 by 10 by 10 rig, because you have a 10-inch hook link. Remember the knot that I showed you the other day on the first video? Well, very similar thing, but don't go to the point, because this is going to hang, this is going to stand differently. So 10-inch hook link, 10 wraps, lift the hair, go beyond it 3 times. It looks a bit odd at the moment, but when it stands up, it'll look really good. All right, and the other thing, 10mm pop-up. I've got 3 pieces of maize here. This is I actually re-soaked this to show you, because this was hanging up in the garage from last June, and this is the actual rig that I caught the 230s on when everyone else was struggling. So it does work. I wish I could tell you why. I actually don't understand exactly why it works, but it does. But what happens is when you cast it out is it sits in the water like that. It sits straight up like that off the lead, and you can see how the hook stays where it's in a really beautiful angle. So there you go. That is my second one to get you out of trouble. If you're having problems with various things, like I said, then, you know, then I would try that. But believe me, it works. So there you go. That's the second one.